about her real voice.
Okay, there was this kid named Tyler Schultz that worked for her, and his grandpa was the Secretary of State, George Schultz, who was one of the biggest investors in the company, like a 90-year-old dude. And this lady, Elizabeth, she was like being like really buddy-buddy to this guy because he was one of the biggest investors, and they were like at family dinners and Christmas parties.
It's only 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, she is real Zuckerberg looking, too, with those eyes.
It's like 30 minutes, though.
Oh, yeah,
That one's only 30 minutes. You have to watch 6 hours.
Yeah, she's trying to pull off the like full-on Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs thing.
Weird looking.
And this young
Probably all
kid,
jacked up on Adderall and shit.
this kid Tyler fucking went to, I forget what it was. I think it was the Wall Street Journal, and went to one of the investigative reporters and basically fucking snitched her out on everything. Basically said this, because they already were like, they smelled blood in the water, like something's fishy about this company, and he basically told them everything.
Spilled the beans.
Spilled the beans.
And here's one. This is a 45-minute
I think he
documentary.
cut a plea.
No, he
Maybe.
didn't do anything. He actually went to his grandfather and said, "This is what's going on."
Yeah,
and
and
his
he didn't believe him.
His grandfather was like, "You don't know everything. You don't this. You don't that." He's like, "Grandpa, you're dumping millions of dollars into this. You got your buddies all investing. I'm telling you, this shit doesn't work. I'm on the inside in the labs. Everybody knows it doesn't work." Now, you're just a young man. She's a genius. Just like,
God damn.
She's like 25 years
And
old.
the craziest shit is, this bitch had Harvey Weinstein's lawyer
Nice.
representing their company. This guy also represented Enron, I think.
Oh yeah, you understand? And everybody, you sign a non-disclosure coming in, a non-disclosure leaving.
Damn.
Did one guy commit suicide?
Yes,
One guy committed suicide.
One of the scientists committed
shit.
suicide
Because
Like some
Just-
Scientology stuff.
What?
yeah, it really was a lot like Scientology. It reminded
well-
me of Scientology.
Really? I
Yeah,
didn't think
the
that.
whole thing did, because it was just a fucking scam. It's like they just want to prop up this big picture because nothing's really happening behind the doors.
That's all. That's Enron. That's all of
Of
them.
course.
L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, they're all Ponzi
What are you
schemes.
doing?
That's the guy that
Hey, wait,
started
are you,
Scientology.
Are you taking those gummies? What are you doing?
Yeah,
Is
it's
he on
a
the gummies?
couple.
He's on it, bro.
He's
He's connecting the dots.
There's no dots.
We're
There's
on-
hardly any
we're on a
dots.
different
There's no
level than you right
science.
now, Matt
Yeah,
Cox.
Yeah, that's the.
We're on a whole nother
that's
dimension.
The most polite way to
We're
say
in
it.
another dimension right now. Yeah, bro.
Shit, they keep saying she's looking at 20 years.
20
I'm
years,
telling
yeah.
you right now, I can't believe they're saying 20.
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe it's not way more than that.
I know, right? How much did you steal? Look how much this bitch stole.
And
For real.
honestly, this went on
Damn.
and on.
You got
and on.
26, and you only stole like 6 million.
Yeah, but she's got Weinstein's lawyer.
No, she doesn't.
Not now.
Oh yeah, she does have Weinstein.
She probably doesn't now.
No, yeah, she.
How
still
much
does.
time did Bernie get?
Does she?
Maybe.
Bernie got
150 years. something like that.
150?
Oh yeah, he's done.
How much money did he steal?
You know, he works at commissary, right?
Really?
Yeah, they all day long you can hear him calling out inmates' names like,
Really?
yeah, he's like Johnson 40117. You know,
Yo, but the only
Thomas.
the only difference
window
between
4005. You call your name and then they tell you what window to go to.
Matt, the only difference
Madoff.
between her and Madoff was that Madoff was very conscious that he was running a Ponzi scheme, and he was very aware he was never going to pay anybody back.
Yeah.
I think this lady thought that she eventually,
chance.
Well,
eventually this shit could actually happen.
Madoff didn't start his company like that. You know, he didn't start off immediately saying, "This is a Ponzi scheme. I'm going to go as long as I can." He was like chairman of the stock exchange or something. You know, he was a legitimate guy. He had a legitimate company. It morphed. Most of these morph into that. Do you see what I'm saying? Look, if you want to know one of the ways to know that he knew from the beginning it wasn't going to be a huge scam, because he started the money, or he started it with his own money, and he did it in his own name. If you're running a Ponzi scheme,
Yeah.
and I'm going to project false earnings, one, even if I start it with my own name, I wouldn't start it in my name. You know, you would put somebody else as the front man. You would use a false identity, or there's a thousand ways to do it. It's something that started off as a legitimate, and then he started providing false earnings or false returns. And then it got to the point where it was like, okay, I can never make up for this. I'm not even going to invest anymore.
He's just going to ride until the wheels fall off.
I'll just ride this fucker out. Maybe I can go. Keep in mind, the longer you go, the more emboldened you are. Then he gets investigated several times. He actually passes the audits. You pass the audit with no trades. No, because they're, oh, no, well, what did you do? Oh, I did this and this and this. Looks good, Bernie. Thanks a lot. It's like, oh, you're fucking crazy. So every time he did that, he just got more emboldened. Probably thought, look, I'll ride this fucker. I can never retire.
Hell yeah.
But maybe I'll just die of cancer or something, and then they'll figure it out when I'm gone, or who knows what he's thinking. But the one thing you can't do is stop. That's the same. And with her, I think it's the same thing. I think she started thinking, I'm going to fake it till I make it,
Right.
and then we're going to come up with these revolutionary things, because all she was saying is, look, the tests already exist, but you need a machine this big. We just have to really shrink the technology. And how often is that? Look at the first cell phone. The first cell phone was a brick. It was this big. We shrunk it down to where, honestly, it's not even this. You can have everything in this. You can have in your ear in just a little thing. People just don't do it. It's too expensive. But the point is, she was thinking, just shrink the technology.
Yeah. Seems simple.
But the problem is, she did. It's the same thing that I think most of these, psychopaths do, is that one, she's not thinking it through. She doesn't care about the ramifications. She's planning it all, but the big thing is she's promising too big. You're saying this machine can do the 300 known tests on blood. What are you doing? Who? No, not you. I'm just saying in general. Why would you say 300?
Right.
Why wouldn't you have just taken like the core ones that you could?
You knew you would get.
Right. Well, you don't need to test for
100.
Right. Do you really need to test
have
to
to
make
say
sure
3.
you don't have
Fuck it,
some
10.
disease that's already been eradicated? Like, oh, we're testing for smallpox. There's no smallpox. This doesn't even exist. Well, we're going to test for it. Yeah, but you need a machine this big to test for it. What are you doing? Why are you throwing that one in there? You need a room this size to run all the tests that you're saying you're going to fit into what's basically the size of a CPU. What are you doing? You can't do it. So it's like, why would you? It's like these Ponzi scheme guys. You know how they get caught right away? Most of them get caught right away. Why Bernie Madoff went so long is Bernie Madoff was giving you 8 to 10% returns. I think it was between like 6 to 8%. It wasn't outrageous, but it was consistent. Your money was secure. It's these guys that say you're going to get 140% return. Okay, well, great. You can maybe go 2 years if you can keep borrowing, and then it all collapses. You're just an idiot. Yeah, you got swamped right away. Yeah, we got the money in. Yeah, but you lasted 2 years, and then you had to go to prison for 10. So it's like, how do you want to have a real run? You want to really raise some money? Be reasonable. Don't say 300, because not just that. If you raise enough money and you put it into you put it into R&D, you might pull it off.
Yeah. Right.
There's no way she's pulling this off.
Keep developing it, make it better.
Right. Let's add some more
You'd
shit.
have to start with 300.
She was thinking, we're going to fucking pull this off before the feds come in. We got to pull it off before the feds come in. But the craziest thing is, she kept raising money by getting all these badasses to join her company.
Yeah.
She got
knew what she was doing.
She got the best scientists, the best known,
and political contacts,
well-respected scientists in the country. She hired them to work for them, put them on the front page of her website. So when she went to go get investment money, they're like, oh shit, she's got these people. But these scientists, once they start working there, they're like, nothing works. She's like, I don't care. Go work in HR or something.
We're going to transfer you.
You're still going to work here, but you're not going to do science because the science is all fucked up.
Oh, you know what? I love that when she would have the people come in, like you're going to possibly invest, or you're one of the investors, or maybe you're thinking about investing. She'd have them come in
and check everything out.
Yeah, well, and this is the machine. Go ahead, let's take the sample of blood. Okay, now you place it in here. Okay, all right. And it starts. Okay, it's going to take a while. Let's go in the other room and have some we have hors d'oeuvres, and we want you to meet Bob, the top scientist. Walks in the other room, another lab tech sneaks in, pulls out the fucking blood, goes into the other room, runs a bunch of tests with it, comes back an hour later, sticks it back in the machine, sticks the shit, and then when it should be done by now. Let's go back in there. She walks back in, pulls it out, and goes, so you're diabetic? I am diabetic.
Sold.
I also see that you have this and this. You might want to get a CAT scan.
Yeah.
This is what's going on. So they totally, and they said she didn't do it once. They did it over and over and over.
Oh,
so
man.
how is she now going to get on the stand and be like, I had no idea the technology wasn't going to work.
Right.
You've been running a scam for 10 years.
Right.
Fuck.
Right.
That was just creative financing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the whole
With
thing,
a good lawyer,
the
maybe.
whole, like the biggest kicker, the biggest selling point of the whole thing was it's only a drop of blood. But people are going into Walgreens and they're doing regular blood draws.
Yeah, it never worked.
Like, what the fuck is this? I'm supposed to get, you have to prick my finger. You're pulling out a fucking whole vial of blood.
That's just the pit. The blood drop. That's just marketing. That's just good marketing. Now let's get that vein out.
That's just good for the first.
You think the
20
quarter
tests.
pounder really weighs a quarter pound?
She's something else, boy.
God
They're
damn.
gonna love her in prison.
She's fucked. Would you be pissed off if she only got 20
She'll
years?
probably go to a nice prison though, right?
I wouldn't be pissed off. It's a money crime, which is horrific. I'm not saying it's not horrific, but God, I don't know, 20 years. That's a long time. But honestly, what were you thinking? I mean, I'm that's bad. I am typically always like, you know what? It's too much time, because it's almost always too much time. But my God, I mean, we're talking about almost $1 billion over the course of 10 years. I mean, you could have she has some mental illness. Mm-hmm. You understand? First of all, if you knew it was a scam, money's going to be, if you knew, you're going to put some money away. Do something. You know this is coming down. Nothing. I'll bet you she didn't put nothing away. Secondly, the other thing is, there's got to be a mental illness there, because
Definitely.
she was unwilling to accept that it wasn't going to work, and she's threatening, and she's doing it like why didn't you claim bankruptcy? I mean, once it wasn't coming together, and you knew, she just kept raising money and raising money and raising money.
Yeah, that's where she went wrong.
What are you doing? I mean, there's got to be, plus the baritone, the wearing the sweaters, she's got
crazy eyes.
It's got to be like a mental illness. Or
What do you think she has? Diagnose her.
Oh, I mean, she's absolutely narcissistic. She's got
Sociopath?
antisocial disorder for sure. She's either a sociopath or a psychopath, probably a psychopath, because
seems like psycho.
because she's got good organizational skills. She's able to, at the very least, she's able to fake relationships with people. Which is basically what I have.
Charming.
Yeah, she's super charming. But definitely narcissistic. She's very concerned about her image. She also knew that the image was part of the whole kind of scam. Like I don't know. It's tough, bro. That's tough.
Yeah.
But definitely, listen. What is she? Why would you go to trial? Unless they just came out of the gate and said, take 20. And she's like, fuck it. The problem with this, by the way, is you understand a lot of times people will be like, well, the most they can give is you 20. And you go, okay. And then you get sentenced, and the judge says, yeah, you got 15 charges on
Kingpin.
Yeah, but no, not kingpin. I'm going to run them. I'm going to run them. I'm going to. What do they call it? The guys used to always call it this. What is it when you have a train? They're gonna stack it. Whatever they'd say, and they're gonna stack them instead of running them. At the same time, like concurrently. They're gonna run them consecutively, and then they're just gonna stack the charges. So you're 20 years, yeah, but you got 10 charges, so it's 200 years. No, you understand? My lawyer said, no matter what your lawyer said.
What if she doesn't get any jail time?
She won't. There's no way she's not getting any jail time.
Really?
There's no way. She's getting jail time.
She got a really good lawyer, Matt Cox.
I don't fucking care who she has. She's going to prison. If they hit her on, bro.
She going to Coleman?
No, Coleman. They're turning it into a men's camp.
Oh, no more women's camp.
No, the whole complex is now male.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to move all the women out and transfer it to men.
Why are they doing that?
I didn't get a memo, so I don't know.
I thought you were still on the mailing list.
No, I heard it. So yeah, but yeah.
They didn't send you a Christmas card?
No.